Hello class, this is Professor Wallach again. All right, so in this lecture, we're going to look at layer styles, layer types, and we're going to look at filters. And we're only going to go over a couple of them, it's ones that you're going to generally use on a regular basis, but you'll want to go and play with them on a regular basis to find different things. So I'm not going over all of them, but a couple to demonstrate them. I'm going to start with layers, and I'm going to bring in a new image right here. And is it is going to come in small. We're going to make this about 600 on both the width and height. And we'll hit return, and that will be our new. It's a smart. And now Photoshop brought this in a smart layer we brought in a completely new file. It's no big deal, and you'll see that it's that smart layer with this icon right here. We can start by, hey, let's start looking at it in terms of, we could do, again, we can try and darken, we can try and multiply, though we want to go on the lighter side. We want to light in screen, probably more light in. You can see the screen, you can see this edge right here on that effect. Color dodge, color linear dodge, yeah, I think lighting is what we want here. I'm going to use just Control T. And I'm just going to bring this in, get at it more. And now as we got it into, you can see the effect of the eyes. There we go. So that's more in line. Again, we use control trees. That's the free-form control tools. We right-click, you can bring up, you can scale, you can rotate, skew, we can rotate it 180, flip horizontal, vertical if we want to. We can warp as we see fit. So there's other controls here. Again, if you want to rotate, basically you'll drag. You'll see the curve tool. This, if you go to the point, it'll drag what's going on. Essentially, all the transform is going to be from this center point right here, is the center of the object. And you can scale with height as you see fit. So we made it lighting so it comes out, it shows up. We can also bring down the opacity just a little bit, just by, say, 75. Brings it some more realistic, if we can call this anything realistic. So, yeah, glowing eyes on Derek Bateman. Have fun. Moving on. So there we go. So this is basically playing with layers. Again, we can change the type. We can change the opacity. You typically don't play with fill. That's usually something else. You can just look up what fill is doing on your own. But these are basically, essentially what, basically you're playing with layers again, how they're layered on top of things and whatnot. All right, let's take a look at our next image, and it's Mr. Trollface. And all I've done in this image so far is I've just basically separated, this is what the original image looked like. I just basically I removed the white image out of here just for the sake of argument for right now, so that I've got the black lines separated from the white background. And I basically made a new layer for that white. We're going to actually go to layer styles right now. I'm actually going to, yeah. And this is going to bring up a window right here. And you'll see a preview of it in this area. And basically our purpose right now, we're going to go into outer glow. Normally this is usually like a darken multiply screen. I'm gonna bring this thing back to normal so it shows up normally. I'm going to bring this and make this a green because, it's jealous. Are you jealous? I'm going to go lighter green. There we go. And you can see this is what the out. What is the opacity? Right now it's 25%. I'm going to bring it up to 50. I'll do 75. What the heck? So it shows up a lot better. How much noise? And you probably only want a little bit of noise to give it. Technique, you can be soft, but I want to be precise here. And size, I'm going to bring this down to 16 pixels. And the spread, I'll give it about 10%. So it'll be another few. So it's got that glowy effect going on. You can do contour. Basically, you can give, it's going to peak and come out. So it's going to give that outer ring-like effect. You can do the opposite of that. This is getting the straight line. So this is going to give more contours, basically how it's being applied out. I'm going to go with this actually looks really good. Yeah, this one looks the best right now. These others can get really weird. Like this is, points. And there's things you can actually go and you can create a new contour, which is basically what is this? I'm gonna stay with the curve for our purposes right now. I'll click OK, and then there we go. We've now given him this green out glowing effect. I'm gonna bring in the text, because usually it's low, but you can see that you can't read it because there's no transparency. And basically, we'll click on the layer style, and this is basically, again, last one I did outer glow. This one is basically going to be a stroke. Click on stroke, color is black. We can see right there. I'm going to give this actually 10 pixels. Go 16. What the heck? Make it thick. And there we go. We've got now that lull now standing out with that thick. And then we can make it, is it on the outside? Is it on the inside? Is it on the center of that line? The opacity, again, we want 100%. We don't want any. And we will click OK. Again, there's others. There's gradients and patterns. I'll let you play with gradients on your own. That's pretty straightforward. Take two colors will be between it. Patterns are basically more, they're images. So in this case, there's trees. They've got grass. These are things for like filling out things. Let me close these. So here is a water one. Here is, so if you wanted to give an effect with a pattern, you can create an image out of a pattern essentially. We can look at that another time. So I'm gonna go back to just color because I just want that black out. So there we go. So these are different layer effects that you can go in and you can see FX is for layer effects. This has been applied. You can actually copy a layer style, and so let's make another text box right here, and I'm gonna go say hello, and I can actually just copy the layer style, and I can then on here paste the layer style, and now I have the same style that I've down here up here on this. I'll put this in the center as well. Enjoy making memes with this. So yeah, this is layer styles. Again, I'm going through this pretty quickly, and it's really the best way to learn about what you need to do and how to work with this is to just jump in and play with it. And I'm just showing you the basics, and you can go in and you can go and learn more as you play with them. All right, let's go to next image, Blur. All right, Blur is a band from the 90s. They're really known for one song called Song Number 2. Woohoo! That's their biggest song. We're gonna have fun with them. We'll start with we're gonna start with filters. We're gonna go down and we're gonna actually go to stylize, and there's a wind version, and you can see that there is a method here. So you can do wind, you can do stagger, or you can go blast. And I kind of like blast. You can go from the right, from the left. I'm actually going from I'm gonna go from the left in this case. Yeah, talk about getting your head checked out by a jumbo jet. But we're not gonna stay here with just that. We're actually gonna look at another filter, and it's going to be a blur filter, and this is the one that you'll use most, is the Gaussian blur, mostly because you've got a nice. Bring up. Hello. Where is? Here we go. Here's the control. So right now I've got a Gaussian blur of 2 pixels. Again, this is 0.1, not barely anything at all. There's, again, up to 1 pixel. You can actually see. We'll bring up to 5. Go and completely blur it out. I'm going to bring this down to 3 pixels just for the sake of argument. And I'm going to click OK. And you can see that now this is, blurred out the edge of the image as well. So again, one of the things I did with this image, I did take out this top portion from this image down here. So I am going to go in and just give a black layer. I'll bring this down below. You can see that now blurs in. And again, now I've done the Gaussian blur, we can be honest, this is actually now a Gaussian blur. I gotta go with Pixies. They're the biggest song you probably know is "Where Is My Mind." It was used in the Fight Club, particularly at the end of the Fight Club film. Um, and if for our filter, there is actually a pixelate filter, and we're gonna go with. There's a couple of those like mosaic, fragment, facet, crystallized, color half tone. I'm gonna go with the mosaic for right now, and it's going to give like a square effect. Right now, I've got cells. I'm gonna do 2, so you're not gonna see more. But here's 4. You can start seeing the pixelated effect here. 8 is gonna be more. We'll go 16, even more. Now you're not even seeing the effect, but I'm just going to go down. I'm going to go up to 32 just to show you, like this is what. So we're getting more and more. How big is the cell size? So more. I'm going to go back down to 8 because that shows off it pretty well. And there we go. I mean, we looked at in this case layers. Again, I didn't change this over, and I got away with this, but make sure if for some reason the filters are not showing up, go to Image, go to Mode, and make sure you're under RGB and at least 8 bits, 16 and 32. But definitely when I have an issue, I go to make sure that my image is RGB 8 bits. So you bring in like a GIF, that is going to be an index color. And so that's going to be an issue. So that you're going to have to transit from being just index colors to the normal RGB. We'll talk about file formats in another video, but that basically just know that basically a GIF file has a palette of colors, and this is again for back when the internet was very young. That was very important to in terms save on. It was a compression technique. We have other ways to compress. The JPEG has its own compression. PNG has its own version of compression that you don't need to use a palette of colors anymore. So again, just remember, go to File, save each of these images as as you do your work. Save as the Photoshop file as its own name, and then save as a copy to basically. Again, we can make a JPEG. It wants to go to JPEG automatically. We'll go to PNG for our purposes. And here's Pixies. We'll just do PNG. We'll click Save. It will bring up this format options: large size, fast saving, medium size, small size, slowest saving. We'll click OK, and then hooray, we've now saved a PNG file. So these are the things that you will need to do. Again, for your assignment, basically there are 4 rows of basically the same image. I ask you for each one of those images, do something different with it. And again, don't follow what I've done here. Like, don't do the blast and blur effect. Like, please don't follow what I've done exactly. But I want you to go play, do different layer styles, layer effects, do different effects, filters here. There are what's also called adjustments. You can play with these as well. So one of the things is the curves. And right now, bring this down a little bit more so you can see. And we can do this now this is doing by all the channels. We can do just by the red channel. There's no red in here. So let's go look at the green channel. In this case, this is what's going on with the green. We can do some crazy stuff with this. And adjust, and this is just playing. So this is one of those, remember, your colors in Photoshop are red, green, and blue, and sometimes an alpha channel. So that's the values of your colors. So this is basically adjusting the output of the green. In this case, we're not getting some crazy outputs here. Now, having done that, I can just undo. Properties, layers, and you can see there's an adjustment here. We can actually we can just delete the layer effectively, and it basically was affecting everything below it. So play with these as you see fit. All right. The other part of your assignment essentially is you create an elephant encumber. Basically, you're going to get it, and you can roll this 2, 3 times if you want to, pick from what you think are the best. Generate 3 headlines, generate 3 images, generate 3 quotes, or find 3 quotes on that page, and pick from the ideally those the hardcore. Basically, you're picking what's given to you, or I'm not gonna be have fun. Make stuff that's crazy. Have fun with it. Again, extra credit if you make a CD cover and you actually print that CD cover out and bring it in a CD case. So if you create it and actually bring it in a CD case, you'll get extra credit for that. All right. That should be your lecture for right now. You've got any questions, as always, get on Discord, get on Canvas, send me messages, ask for help.